Hello everyone, thanks for joining the tour today, and we're going to be taking a look at the newly renovated bungalows, or otherwise now known as the cottages, which we've gone through about half of them so far, and we're looking at cottages number 4 and 8 at this time. And this is just a view of the balcony. We changed the entrance from being in the middle, and so if you are familiar with the property, there used to be an entrance for 2 rooms in one of these bungalow housing structures, and now each bungalow, each room has their own entrance to the side and a little bit more privacy as well, because we split the balconies. So you don't necessarily have to talk to the neighbor if you don't want to, but you can of course go around if you would like. And moving into the room itself, these are brand new beds and frames and new design with the throw pillows and the standard pillows in the back there. And then you can also see the kitchenette unit that we renovated, and we'll get to in a second. Also, we added a working desk with a charging station, so you have USB and also Type-C there as well, right below the television. And that's for anybody who wants to get some work done, especially those work from home people. And this is a wider view of the room, and I just want to make note of the AC, because these used to be fan cooled rooms, and now we got rid of the louver windows, and so now it's completely sealed up, if you will, with, as far as the windows go, brand new windows. And also want to bring attention to the ceilings. So the ceilings used to be flat, and now we brought them up to an apex to give a little bit more room and make it feel a little bit more spacious, but still maintain the coziness. And also bringing some more attention to the far right corner of the kitchenette that we have, and we'll get to that in a second, and also the newly renovated bathroom. So we basically gutted this entire place. Even the floor tiles are brand new as well. And this is another angle of the bed, and just want to bring some attention to the LED bed frame, as well as the embedded nightstands and lamps, and another view of the kitchenette, I should say. And as you can see, it has basically all the utensils and tools that you might need to cook a meal. Included is a mini fridge there down on the left, and a hot plate, coffee maker, ice bucket, all the knives and utensils that you may need to feed a small family. Not necessarily Thanksgiving dinner, but you can definitely chef it up in there, especially if you're staying for an extended period of time. This might be a perfect type of accommodation for you. And that essentially is the kitchen. And now moving on to the bathroom. And as I mentioned before, like floor to ceiling, new floor tiles, new ceiling tiles. We got the LED frame around the mirror just to give a little bit more lights. We changed out the square louver windows for the ship window, I guess you can call it. And we got the rainfall shower head and the glass frame shower door. Even the towel holders, those are all new. And again, trying to bring together everything in the room, the kitchenette, and to complete the cottage experience, if you will. So very happy and proud of how this was done, and really wanted to give a modern look and feel to this new room category, the cottage. And so also with this wider angle, want to bring attention to the closet. So you got some drawer space there, and you got some hanging space as well, and your safe, of course, and the ironing board is on the other side in between the closet and the window there. And yeah, another angle of the room, and also want to bring attention to that long standing mirror there, so full frame mirror. And that essentially is the bungalow, and this is kind of our way of paying homage to my dad and where he started from with this hotel, Travelers Beach Resort. It started right with one bungalow and grew to the 60-room resort that Travelers Beach Resort is now. And
my name is Daniel Grizzle. I'm the managing director of Charella Inn, which is a family-owned and managed small 59-bedroom hotel situated right in the center of the famous Negril beach. And I would like very much to invite you all to come and experience what life is like here in Charella Inn, to be part of our extended family. Several of the rooms are just open, overlooking the beautiful Caribbean Sea, and you have tall, waving coconut trees to welcome you and keep you cool on the beach. And you have a warm and interesting staff here ready to keep you comfortable, to make you feel at home, and to enjoy that you stay happy and peaceful.
Welcome to Coca Palm Hotel, Negril. My name is Kimisha Brackett. I am the Sales and Marketing Manager here on property. At this property, we're a standalone hotel owned by a Minnesota family. We have 107 rooms on property. Our rooms catered for adults and kids. We have rooms with 2 beds. We also have suites, ocean view suites, cocoa suites, junior suites. We have 2 swimming pools on property, our family pool, which is a courtyard pool, and we have our adults only pool. We'll also have a jacuzzi here on property. We have our restaurant, Marley's by the Sea restaurant, that caters for breakfast and dinner on a daily basis. We have our Marley's Beach Bar and Grill that caters for lunch. Come and walk with me. Let me take you to the beach, our beautiful 7 Miles Beach, right where we do most of our activities. We have our activities that we done daily. We have our cocktail party that is held every Monday at 6 until 7 right here on property, complimentary cocktail for our guests and hors d'oeuvres. We also have our entertainment on Wednesdays and Fridays. On Fridays, we have a full cultural showcase, the fire-breathing dragon on property and a full cultural show. We have our spa on property. If you want to do your massages on the outside or indoors, we can do that for you. We also have a gift shop on property that caters for all Jamaican souvenirs. Whatever you left at home, you can get it in our gift shop. Come and enjoy the beautiful property, Coca Palm Negril, here in Jamaica.
Happy Sunday, everyone. You're seeing some of the videos that we did for our partner hotels, some of our partner hotels for Throp X 2024. We're actually doing this for every hotel that we've worked with and working with. So we did a lot of filming last week, and we have a couple more that we're going to be editing this week to get them on here. And yeah, that's one of the perks that you get with working with a quote unquote influencer that's putting on an investment conference, is that you get some really good content. So we're doing that for all our hotel partners. And yeah, we're working with, I guess, a majority all small hotels here in Negril, which is cool. And so in addition to ones that you saw, Skylark Coco, Charella Inn, also Negril Treehouse has rooms available for Throp X at a special discount, as well as Rayon Hotel, Sandy Haven Resort, and Rondell Village. We're also partnering with Jamaica High Life. We're actually going there to shoot it tomorrow. For those that you don't know, that's the old Coca-Cola Heiress house in deep West End. Beautiful, 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 beautiful view. And they are also offering investment opportunities. So it's a really, really good partnership that we have with those folks. But anyway, let me know how you all are doing. As always, like I like to start out with learning what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Always love to hear it. Always love to make connections amongst the Throp community that we have going on here. And today, I have a couple of articles, and let me know what y'all think. We could take it either way. I have a couple of articles lined up that I was thinking about going through, but I also realized like we haven't done a Q&A in like forever. I think over a year. We haven't done like just like an open Q&A discussion, and I was thinking like maybe we could do that. Maybe we could run through that, get any questions answered that you'd like on whatever topic. Doesn't matter. We haven't done that in a really, really long time. I actually forgot how much I enjoy those. But hey, if we want to do the usual format, we're prepared with a bunch of stuff to discuss. As it is, we can just go through the normal. But when a few more people hop on, I'll give the option, and we can decide collectively what we want to do on the stream here today. I do have a couple of properties that I want to bring to your attention. Let me see if I can actually we'll go through the comments in a second. But I'll bring up the properties, and then I will see what you all think, and then some announcements as well. So let's start off with the channel. So you saw I think it was the second or third video with Skylark and their spa. Actually, I'm coming out. We shot this a while ago, but that's also the beauty of this channel, is like just having evergreen content. And I'm doing a spa series. Basically, we're slated to release this upcoming weekend, as a matter of fact. But basically, like the idea behind it was the inspiration behind it was I feel like one of the best things about Negril, especially if you live here, and of course if you vacation here, but especially if you live here, is the amount of great, amazing spas that we have here. And I particularly focused on the massage part, as I am a runner, athlete, and getting massages, getting good, high quality massages is very much part of my rest and recovery routine. And I just feel so lucky to be living in Negril and to have access on a regular basis, stone's throw away from travelers, a lot of them, where I can get these high level, high quality massages. And I highlighted Skylark, as you saw, which is one of my favorites. So Skylark and Rock House. Skylark is on here on the beach. Rock House is on the cliffs. Like two of my favorite spas. Rock House, I believe, I don't know how many years ago, or maybe they got it again recently, but they were like Travel and Leisure's like #1 spa in the Caribbean. Like unbelievable. I feel like a place like that, like when we get these like global awards, and I say we, because even though like it's not my property or anything like that, but it's just something like I look at like something that Negril achieves, something that Jamaica achieved, and then we should be really, really proud of that. And so that's a fact that I'm really, really proud of. And then their newer property, Miss Lily's, is their restaurant, but Skylark is the name of the hotel. Phenomenal service, like really, really awesome. And then I also did one on Cecile. So if you stayed at Travelers, you'll kind of see some of the girls come from Cecile's, which is 2 doors down from us at Negril Beach House. And she does like really, really excellent massage. I'm kind of giving away the video here, but I don't think it's a problem at all to like highlight these folks and highlight these businesses. And I mean, you've heard me talk about Jackie's on the Reef so many times on this live stream. Incredible place, deep West End, and massages are good. Ambiance is unbeatable, just like absolutely unworldly. Like you're literally on the cliffs overlooking the water, and as you're getting your massage, you're just hearing the waves splash against the cliffs, and amazing. And then the place itself, massage aside, I always say this place is a place to go to realign and rebalance yourself. And I've gone there many times I've gone there for the massage, get lunch, of course. Always recommend the lunch there. Very, very, very nice. but you can just spend the whole day there, and it is has this very spiritual aura about it. And a lot of that comes from Jackie, but she always says that Jamaica is like this incredible healing place, and she really tapped into that. And I feel like she brought the best of the healing aspects of Jamaica and of Negril and put it all into her facility. So always recommend Jackie's on the Reef if you want to get a massage, if you want to do yoga. And she's just a great, really wise person to speak to. And again, it's like another one of those spots that like I'm just like so incredibly grateful that we have that here in Negril. And so if you live here, are thinking about living here, or spend extended periods of time, like use these places to your advantage. Like it's just a shame for you not to. And sometimes I get caught up in my work and what I'm doing. Sorry, I got a Jolly Rancher in my throat. I'm okay though. Sometimes I forget, and I forget to take care of myself. I forget to take some time out my day or my week or my month or whatever to relax and to take time out for myself. And just want to use this opportunity as a reminder, like, again, for those folks who spend extended periods of time here, that these services, these businesses are here, and they really take care of you. They really take care of you. I think those are all the massage places that I can remember. And then I always say, like, I don't consider myself to be like a bougie person, like, at all. But when it comes to massages, like, without question, like, I'm a stickler, and like I like what I like, and I'm very particular about it. And I just need it like really hard, especially like when you're just putting, like 60 miles on your legs a week, 60, 70, sometimes 80 miles. Like, you need to get that. You need to get it flushed out. And it can be very painful. And all of these ladies and these businesses are like very technical with the massage. So very proud and happy to have that. And like I said, we got that video coming out next this weekend coming up. We're working on it. What else that we got going on? Let's hop to the comments real quick, and then we'll get back to announcements. I see a few people coming in. Donna Bryce says, "Happy Sunday, Throp and Throppers from Ottawa. Nice to see you, Donna." Jeff Rogerson, good to see you. Hey, Throp and everyone chiming in from Montreal. Awesome. Shannon asks, is that the signature cottage? That is the cottage. Yes. That's the cottage. We redid these, it's now almost 3 years now that we redid them. Asking from the video that I showed in the opening. Nicole, what's going on? Greetings from Toronto. Good to see you. Jeff was in Negril a couple of weeks ago with friends, enjoyed breakfast at Travelers, but the weather was too wet. Cheers. Sorry to hear that. It's actually raining now. I think that's from the hurricane that's headed to Florida right now. But yeah, sorry that you were affected by that so dramatically, because it was like, it was raining quite a bit the last few weeks. Jamin says, happy Sunday from LIC Queens. Nadine, what's going on? Jay, hello, happy day before Monday, everyone. You don't want to say the S word. Nadine chiming in from Alabama. Good to have you on. Alvina, happy Sunday from St. Lucia. Awesome. Mosaic Travel and Tours, peace and blessings on this beautiful Sunday, everyone from Atlanta. Jeff said also the 7 Mile Beach was looking shabby. Too many places, too many closed places. I went on a run yesterday. Yeah, I saw the same thing. We could talk about that. I said that, I think it was maybe it was Friday on the live stream with Noel. I was talking about the lineup of properties that we have for the real estate tour for Throp X this year. And this is this is only the third year, but it's still a data point to make note of. But without question, this is the most amount of properties, commercial properties and beachfront properties that we have for sale that we're going to be touring. As a matter of fact, we have to cut some off. That's how many we have. And it's just I haven't really drawn any conclusions. I don't know what it is, or is it me just kind of getting into this and paying a little bit more attention than I ever have before, and having a little bit more access to this information. And the properties, a lot of the properties that we're going to be visiting, you're not going to see them online. You're not going to see them on the MLS. These are, one in particular. They said they want Throp X and to be it publicly announced publicly that it's being sold. And so maybe that has something to do with it. But it is something to make note of. Like, again, just the amount of properties, beachfront properties that are for sale. And then even, there are other hotels that we're going to be going to that are also on the West End. But I know that not everybody is interested in buying a hotel. So we are mixing it up. We have, and we're going to talk about a few residential properties in a second. So it's just very interesting to make note of, to be aware that there are more than I could have remembered that are for sale. But on the other side of that coin, like we've also been talking about, this is also the most amount of foreign direct investment coming into the hospitality industry that I've ever seen before. And it's hard to quantify. Maybe this is something that we should be making note of. Like and especially from year to year, I can't really say. We have like I always go back to this example of like doing these M&A studies, mergers and acquisition studies during my MBA program, and that being like this macroeconomic indicator of the strength of the market is what is the M&A activity like. But this could be something on the counter to that. Is just like, and maybe more real estate focused. So it's just interesting, and I think it just needs to be looked into a little bit deeper. At least from my perspective, I'm fairly curious about this and want to know, why things are happening and where things are going, sort of thing. So, good observation, Jeff. We're on the same page with that. Beverly Price says, listening from Belize. Awesome. I got to get to Belize at some point. I'm hearing some great things about there. Andrea Crawford says, is Andrea from New York? Nice to have you, Andrea. Shauna, what's going on? Happy Sunday to you as well. Metro Atlanta Real Estate and Mortgage. What is going on, Simone? Good to see you on the stream. Norman, Florida. Good afternoon, Throp. Thanks for joining, Norman. Patricia, hi from Chatham, Ontario. Good to have you. Trudy, blessed Sunday from Orlando. Hope the weather's okay over there right now. For Eva, why won't they be advertised online? The properties, because they don't want to go through a traditional realtor. That's fine. It's the owner is selling it, and you can sell however you want. You don't necessarily need to go through a brokerage or a realtor or anything like that. And they're allowing us to feature it and give the sale opportunity for those folks who are coming to Throp X. That's why. And then I'll also say is that, so Maura Watson is like the main realtor. Damn, I think I just deleted her video, or else I would show it. Did I delete it? Hold on. Yeah, I think I deleted it. Oh no, I haven't. I'll show it in a second. But Maura, she is the main realtor who's leading the real estate tour. Hold on, let me show you her real quick. It's like 25 seconds. Take a look.
I'm seeing a lot of international investors coming in. I have a group, Italian group, and they have 10 hotels in the DR in Mexico, and now they're going to have one in Jamaica. They were approved for 800 rooms in Green Island. I sold them, which was over 70 acres. We have aqueducts. You can still get something around 200. Point Village, 180 for a studio. But a few years ago, you could get a studio for 50,000. So the prices have really jumped.
Crazy. So you see how she said 180 for a studio at Point Village? She just featured a studio for, I think we said 430,000 at Point Village. And we did this video maybe a little over a year ago. And it just goes to show you like how quickly these prices and valuations can just balloon. Anyway, that's Maura, and a lot of her clients that own these properties are exclusively selling with her. And so that is kind of also the benefit of coming to Throp X, and then also working with a person like Maura, because she's very connected and she knows what she's doing and she's good at what she does at the end of the day. Tanya on the clips are so good, talking about massage places. They reached out to me so many times to come and get a massage. I gotta go. I feel so bad. As you mentioned it, I was like, oh man, I haven't gone there yet. And they keep inviting me. I'm gonna go there. I'm definitely gonna check it out. Thank you for that, Patricia. Expat lifestyle. Happy Sunday, one and all. Happy Sunday to you as well. Layla says, "Hey, Throp, what's your opinion on the Andrew thing? How do you think this will end?" So, good question. All right, so I'm gonna mark that. I'm gonna answer that in a second. We're gonna get into that because that's not just a quick one. I just said, notice many new large guest houses being built up at Tank Hill Road. I haven't been up there in a bit, but interesting. Maybe I'll take a drive up there one of these days. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show a Airbnb property that is for rent. Let me see if I can share this. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna get here in a second. But I want to ask you. We kind of feel like we're doing this already anyway. But we could go through some articles which I have lined up. I opened this up earlier for an option, or we could do a Q&A. Whatever y'all want, we can do. We haven't done a Q&A in well over a year. I mean, I think we're close to 2 years since I've done a Q&A, and it would just be like literally, it's actually, it might be good for you because we're not too big of a group today. We're 54 people right now, which is cool, which make it a little bit more intimate instead of like having hundreds of people on the live stream. And so if you want to do Q&A, just give me a star. Let's do. Is that easy? Give me a one. Let's do one. We don't do emojis. Let's do one, and then we do the Q&A. Or if you want to do the articles, give me a 2, and then we'll take it from there. Just throw it in the comments, and I will in the chat, not the comments. Throw it in the chat, and we'll make a decision. 1 for Q&A, 2 for articles. And while you're doing that, let's go through this quick. Not quick, but let's go through this Airbnb. So is it moving up and down? Yes, perfect. Okay, so this is an Airbnb for rent at Little Bay Country Club. I should actually pull up. Let me see if I can pull up. I'll show you where it is later. But this is the Q&A. I'm looking at the comments here. This is a 1-bedroom apartment for rent, $1,650, excuse me, US per month at Little Bay Country Club. It's a 2nd floor condo. Minimum is 3 months. And I think this is also good information to have because like when you're seeing these rental prices, it kind of gives you a good sense of where the market is. And 1650, 1-bedroom, Little Bay Country Club. We'll go through the amenities and let me know what you think, but this seems fairly reasonable to me. Large sun deck balcony, vaulted ceilings, ceramic floor, 1 reserved parking space, utilities not included, electricity and water. You got some pictures there of the kitchen, living room, the deck. You see the view there. All right, that's the contact information. So you can put that there, 876-840-0552. 876-840-0552. And if you're interested in long-term rentals, I saw this on Facebook. Like a lot of people on Facebook were asking for long-term rental, and literally just this fell into my lap just now. But I figured maybe if anybody out there might be interested, this could be something that may fit your needs. Inside condo, 2 air conditions. See all that's included there. You got the bedroom. And this is some of the amenities, right? You have the private clubhouse, the swimming pool, the beach, tennis court, fish sanctuary, 24-hour mobile and electric CCT security. And I guess that's a layout of the apartment and the garage where you park your car. That's a Little Bay Country Club there. It's right on Norman Manley Boulevard on the northern part. And let's go. Let's see here. I'm just going to bring up the map so we can see exactly what I'm talking about. Stop sharing and all right. So this is Negril. This is the 7 mile strip here, 7 miles of white sand beach, and we're moving up to the north here. And this is where Little Bay Country Club is. So this is Little Bay Country Club, as you can see, and private gated community, northern part of Negril. Got the beach and pool, like it mentioned. And if you're looking for somewhere for an extended period, this might be good for you. And I will read out the contact information one more time: 876-840-0552. And then, as I mentioned, I don't have this here now. I have a couple of not Airbnb, apartments for sale at Point Village. So I'm waiting for those to come in. And I know a lot of people are interested in purchasing at Point Village, and they don't come along that often. So I will get that to you all probably next. We'll see what happens. Like, I should be getting that information this week. I mentioned the one with Mora for 430,000 for a studio, and Point Village, while we have the map up, might as well show you. Point Village is also on the northern part of Negril, coming down here. So it's this little, I don't know if you call this an enclave or whatever, but it basically is, it's 3 hotels in one area. So, well, Point Village is not a hotel anymore, but you got Hedonism, you got Royalton here, and then straight ahead, or in the back kind of, is Point Village. And another beachfront property. You can see tennis, pickleball here, and it's right smack in the middle between Hedonism and Royalton. And they actually have 2 beaches. They have a regular beach, and then Hedonism, it shares a beach with Hedonism, and this is a clothing optional beach that borders or shares with, kind of border shares with Hedonism. And the advantage of these properties, or at least Point Village, is that I think it's technically considered part of the 7 mile. I would think so. But there's no access to it, so you don't. So it's really, really private, and you don't have foot traffic coming into this property, because and what I mean by that is, like, nobody's going to bother you to try to sell you anything or anything like that. It's like super, super quiet and super, super private. That's one of the advantages of Point Village. Little bit of a dated property, but they are making a lot of improvements to the property, and it's just one of those properties that has, like, incredible potential, and, like, I feel like it's going to reach that potential. Okay. All right. Okay, so now that we did that, let's see where the votes are in. Only 2 votes for Q&A. Okay, 1, 2, no, 3, and we got 3 votes. Okay, that's it. We got 5 votes. So I guess we're gonna do articles. We're gonna do articles. All right, let me just answer some of these questions, and then we'll get into the articles. All right, so Layla asked about the Andrew thing. So basically, just to bring context to it, is what Layla is asking about is the Prime Minister Andrew Holness was investigated by I honestly haven't really gone deep into it, but essentially he's been investigated for not fraud. I want to say the right thing. Corruption. Sorry. Yeah. And there's this whole thing, like, I think, back and forth, that there was essentially nothing was found by this international agency that has been investigating him. And they but there are like some sticking points, like his critics and people who are for this, like they like the sticking point, I guess at this point, is that there is $20 million that hasn't been accounted for, and that like 27, like why does somebody have like 27 bank accounts? And so I'm not gonna pass judgment on him and what's happening. I really didn't even know that this was happening until like the report came out. And then after I read it, I was like, okay, so this is like, to me, it seemed like nothing had, like everything was clean, but there seemed to be making like something much bigger of it. And like I said, I haven't really looked into it to really come up with like a firm opinion on it. But the little, like certain aspects of it, I'm like, I don't know. Is this really a problem? Like particularly, like people are talking about like the 27 bank accounts, and I'm like, that's not crazy at all. Like, and when I start adding up my bank accounts, like I'm just like little Throp, right? Between checking, savings, if brokerage accounts, I don't know if you count crypto and all that, which there's actually nothing in there, but then you got, business, that these are like just my personal accounts, right? And then there's like my business accounts, like travelers. And, then, I also have multiple currency accounts. I have US, Jamaican, pounds, Canadian, euros. And again, that's just me. I'm not doing anything crazy. I think all I have, like the accounts that I have, are really par for the course of what I'm doing and how I'm doing. Like I don't think, and I don't even don't even have any money. Like straight up, I don't know how else to put it. And I have these accounts, right? Just Cash App and PayPal. Do those count as well? I don't know. But again, it doesn't really seem that far-fetched that somebody would have 27 bank accounts. Like that is like, if you're doing business and you're an entrepreneur and you're in business, I would say that is pretty normal, pretty regular. And I could tell you, like, and for people and those folks who are saying that, like, oh, how can somebody have 27 bank accounts? I guess you're not a business person. Like a business person, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way whatsoever. You're just not in that circle. You're not in that world. And so you wouldn't understand. And I don't think anybody would expect you to. But, and I'm telling you, as like somebody, as a small business owner that has multiple businesses, having multiple accounts, or that many accounts, is not far-fetched at all. And so I think that like something like that is just like, yeah, like, come on, if there's something serious going on and we're trying to solve a problem and we really think that there is some level of corruption, like let's focus on like what could really be corrupt, not something like something I think, again, as a business person, that I think is a little silly, very silly, as a matter of fact. But I don't, like, I really don't have a conclusion. I haven't looked into it enough. It seems, I mean, it's politics at the end of the day, and I think a lot of that is certainly driving a lot of what's going on. But again, just from the headlines and a little bit that I've read from the report, it just doesn't seem like there's anything to talk about. Like it's just like he came back pretty much squeaky clean at the end of the day. So that's just kind of what I would say is the, like, where I am with the very, very little information that I have and what I've looked into it. And I'm sure there's other people who have a different opinion on this and may think of this as, that there is something there, and that Andrew's corrupt and da da da. Like I've seen this before, and I'm just like, okay, like please present the evidence, sort of thing, that. And so like, and here you have this international body that has done this however many years of investigation, and we don't got anything. I don't know. Anyway, let's let me know what you think in the comments as well. I'm open. Let's see, get into some comments real quick. Kwame, what's going on? Hey, Throp, greetings. Anybody wishing to read the full IC report, you can download it here. Excellent. Thank you for that resource. Appreciate that. I can tell you there is politics behind it. The opposition is slinging mud and hoping something will stick. But in saying that, those who know the entire story around Jamaican politics know. Let's leave it at that. I personally don't know the entire thing. I always say, I always say, just in the little that I do know about the politics in this country, that it is very, very important to have a strong opposition. And I think to run any good country, you need to have a strong opposition. Democrats need Republicans, Republicans need Democrats. And even in the US, I think a lot of that, especially with like COVID and the pandemic, I think a lot of the pushback that came from, and I'm not a Trump supporter at all, or anything like that, but I think having those folks, like, it pushed things along, because I think if you just fully believe or blindly believe in like one side, one ideology, and you just have no openness whatsoever that what the other person saying, it could have some merit to it, could be right, and perhaps you may not have all the right answers, so to speak. Like, if once you're like that closed off, I mean, that's a problem. That's coming from a voter standpoint, and I like to keep my mind, my opinions, like, malleable. And it's not to say that like I'm not standing for anything, but I have the openness to listen to the other side, to hear what they have to say, and like, is there any merit to it? And so now that when we actually take it to like the political level, like, I think you need other smart people on the other side who are saying, like, and who are holding the other side accountable. Whoever is in power, whoever is not in power should be holding those that are in power accountable. And again, on a merit-based situation, not for the sake of being politics, or not for the sake of wanting to gain power, wanting to attain power. And when you have a situation, I think when you have a weak opposition party, it allows the other party perhaps to get away with too much, and also not feel as if they can just do whatever they want. There needs to be criticism. There needs to be this constant poking holes in the other side. And again, not for the sake of poking holes. It's really to hold them accountable and maybe take a good idea and make it great. And so I think, with this situation with the PNP, honestly, I wish they were stronger. I wish they were stronger. I wish they were more organized. I wish they brought a little bit more substance to the table. Like Kwame's saying here, there's just too much mudslinging. I just don't like that. I don't like that in Jamaican politics. I don't like that in American politics. It serves as a distraction, and it doesn't really focus on the actual substantive issues that we have and the challenges that we have as a people day to day. And so when it starts to get to that level, I'm just like, oh man, it just kind of like almost just tunes me out. It just almost makes me not want to participate. And like, just here on this channel, on this community, I'm focused on the work. I'm focused on the boots on the ground. I'm focused on action, making things happen, and then also using the platform and this community to hold people accountable, to hold leadership accountable. So I'm not one of these people who are just like gonna vote JLP no matter what, vote PNP no matter what, vote Republican no matter what, vote Democrat no matter what. Like, absolutely not. Like, if somebody's not doing their job, if somebody is not performing, if there is either party, either leader, it doesn't matter. It's like they should be held accountable. And I think it's important to maintain that mindset. And I know a lot of voters, the majority of voters out there, are what you would call maybe not. There's a very small percentage of voters who are actually paying attention to the issues and not like headline readers, but who are very engaged and have their country, their community, their best interests at heart, and really live and breathe this sort of thing. And so a lot of the politicians and like how they campaign, they're really campaigning to the masses, are those who are not paying too much attention, sort of thing. And sometimes that also muddies the water a bit as well. So yeah, I don't like talking about politics on this channel, but sometimes we have to, right? Sometimes we have to. Anyway, let's hop into some more comments here. Jamin 288 says accounts, not just checking, can add up quickly, especially as the way the Caribbean accounts are treated. You need multiple to properly access the global market. Absolutely. I totally agree. Again, if you're a business person, entrepreneur, you have tons of accounts, and it is literally par for the course. Having 20 something accounts it can happen very, very easily. Layla says, I agree with you on the Andrew thing. Cool. Grim says there are no 28 bank accounts. That is a misrepresentation of what the IC report said by Mr. Golding. The report mentioned dealings amongst 28 accounts. They are not all Mr. Holness's accounts. There you go. Galloway says, Justin, sorry about the any convenience caused. Agent Throp, friends, good to see you. And Angel's looking into this matter. I'm definitely looking to get married the sooner, according to the word. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting us know. Kyle Wall says, LOL, the PM purchased a property with no mortgage for a value that's 10% of his salary at the time. That's squeaky clean. Can you give account of the source of funding? Squeaky clean. The thing, all right. So what I'll say with the source of funding, right, and what I will say about this whole thing, and it's just like, all right, this guy, I don't mean it as disrespectful. Honorable Holness, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, has been investigated by this international body, right? And essentially, their conclusion was there is no finding. There is nothing to tie him to corruption. All the things that they were slated to look into and to find, they didn't find. I mean, that's not my words. That's theirs, right? And so then there's a question, especially the people criticizing. It's like, would they pass with flying colors as well? Could they also be investigated with this level of scrutiny, right? And it's just like, guys, come on. Would they be okay if an investigation of this magnitude would happen to them and their affairs? And I'm like, we can't say yeah or nay because they're not in an investigation. They don't have the spotlight on them. And then two, right? You look at, and I don't know like how common this is, right? For this level of somebody's business to be put out there. Politics otherwise, like if this was common, like, oh, every prime minister they have to be looked into like this. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I mean, if you look at the US presidents, a common practice, it was not enforced by law, but up until Donald Trump, like they showed their tax filings, right? And that was just kind of a courtesy of taking on the position of responsibility to show the American people, hey, I'm cool. And then same thing with their health record, not their health records, but like getting the okay from a doctor. So like, oh, I'm physically and mentally fit to lead the free world, so to speak, right? And so I don't know. I don't know if this is something that is common and who else would pass this test. And I think at the end of the day, from what I've seen and what I've read, is that he's pretty much got the thumbs up, and then people are gonna criticize him. Like, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't, Kyle. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but they want more, and they want to find something, and they want to see that like this guy is corrupt and this guy did this and this guy is that. And I think too, here we go. Like you're bringing me down this politics road, right? My dad told me not to do this, but you also, I think also by doing this, and this is completely my opinion. I think you have a situation too where a lot of folks are looking for a reason to perhaps justify, outside of taking personal accountability, but justify why they are where they are in life or whatever have you, right? And so I think there is that, and then this goes back to really what I've been saying for a while now about taking personal responsibility for your life, for opportunities that you could create for yourself, opportunities that you may have missed in life. And I think this, in some instances, from the voting perspective, I feel like people are looking into that and looking for that. And the opposition, without question, They are playing into it. And it's a smart strategy. It's a smart political strategy. I will give them that. It's a smart political strategy to do that, to play into the emotions and to the, should I say, there is also like a level of entitlement of individuals. And when I talk to people, and I forget who I was talking to. I think it was a JLP supporter. But I was telling them basically, I was like, yo, and I'm gonna be frank, I was like, guys, it's not sounding good for you guys out here. Like when you talk to the common person, the average person in Jamaica, it doesn't seem like they're happy. I politically, it doesn't seem like they're satisfied with what's happening in their day-to-day life. And that is a reality of the conversations that I have been having. And as much as we like to talk on this channel about just how good things are going for Jamaica, and I truly, strongly believe that. I think things are going well. And then when you look at the future and the outlook of Jamaica, I think it is very positive, and I'm very bullish, and I'm very excited about it. However, again, when you talk to the average person, the average Jamaican, and I'm talking like going to the barber shop, talking to a taxi driver, the person, somebody's on the beach, having a conversation with them, the hustler who's going up and down the beach, and the vendors selling their wares, they are not happy. Like this is the direct feedback that I'm getting. This is not somebody told me this and I'm getting it from no, this is from the horse's mouth. And I was telling this JLP supporter, I was like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing about this? And when you think about, and I'll add one more point before I go into the conclusion. And the other thing that I will say, I think that plays tremendously into this feeling of what is my government doing for me? Like what is happening? Like things haven't gotten better. Like these are the like connotations that people are saying. You look at the road too. This is also a problem. Without question, like the road from I said this before, the road from Montego Bay to Negril, this is the worst that I've ever seen it. It is really, really, really bad. And I'm just like, it's another one of those things. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, these are the things that people really, really care about. And it doesn't seem that like there is enough effort being put in that direction. And I know resources are limited and you have to do the bureaucracy. I understand all that. But this is very much a country and a people like, what have you done for me lately? And it is what it is. That's the reality. And again, from a political strategic standpoint, I think the PNP is doing a great job in playing into that and bringing that up and really, really shedding light, if you will, on that narrative and pushing that narrative. And I think that this whole investigation is just perfectly in line with that in a sense. So that's kind of where I am mentally with it now. And then I also think, lastly, I'd say is like, I don't think the JLP does they're doing good things, but I don't think they're doing a good enough job of linking whatever it is that they've done good, whether it's housing, whether it's like getting foreign direct investment, blah blah blah, like, and linking it to like the average person and like how that's going to affect their life, how that's going to affect their children's life in a positive way, and like also like understanding the importance and the value of like this long-term investing mindset. And like Jamaica needs that in a big way. Like I think a quintessential example is the one that we brought up with the JCF and the shootout that happened downtown. And then again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but that came from investments that have been made over a 10-year period of investing in technology, sorry for the thumbs up, investing in training, investing in equipment. And the intelligence of the JCF is like, it's crazy now. It's crazy, the intelligence that they have. And would they have thwarted a heist of that nature 5 years ago or 10 years ago? Unlikely. And I always, like, 10 years ago for sure, I just had this sense that the criminals are just so far ahead of the police. I was like, man, they're just always 2-3 steps ahead of the police, and this is why they're able to get away with this, and this is why they get away with that. And we got to understand, like, the criminals are going to criminal. They're going to do what they do, and it's like the bad guys are going to be the bad guys. But now I feel like that has definitely flipped. And I feel like they have a lot of technology, have a lot of intelligence, and I think it's a good thing. But we've only been able to get here because the government invested millions and millions of dollars over a long period of time, and it needs to continue that way with every aspect of the country, in education, in the road network, in social programs, yada yada yada, as we go on. But it takes time and it takes patience, and I also think it takes very, very good communication, so the average person understands what is happening. All right, let's keep rolling here. Corey says, Throp, the IC report only failed in that it did not come to a conclusion. It noticed smoke and wants FID and TAJ to dig and find it. I think it is clear there is smoke. Something is obviously up. I don't know about obviously. There's smoke. There could be smoke. Is there fire? I don't know. They're going to do, I don't know if they're going to continue to investigate or whatever have you. But, I mean, it is, I just hope it's not a waste of resources. I hope it's not it's not being politicized, even though we already know that it is. But we'll see. Like, I'm, again, here, it's just like, let's focus on the work more than anything else. And like, let's not get distracted. At least I don't want to be distracted. Let's keep going. Kwame says, completely agree, Thop. Graham says the prime minister operated. I think I read that already. Joe says, hello, Throp and Throppers. So not political. Jamaica or America. Matter of fact, I'm registered independent in the U.S. There you go. There you go. Kyle says, listen to Dad, love your show. Leave the politics off your show, please. You can't win. They will taint you regardless of your unbiased presentation. Thank you, Kyle. Like, I know I need to be more disciplined with that, but sometimes you just get sucked in, right? Joe says, but what is specific issues are they making the Jamaican population unsatisfied? It's kind of, Joe says, I feel like the roles in political party and power communities get fixed regularly. No, it's like, I think, and I think a lot of it comes down to like I said before, and just trying to be careful with it. It's like there is a level of entitlement, I would say, by some folks, and there is also a level of entitlement, and then the expectation of like your government is supposed to make your life better somehow. And it's like, that is such a bad mentality to have. And there has to be more of a mentality like of, I'm going to do something for myself, and I'm going to just take complete accountability for my life and what I'm doing. The road situation, there's nothing no individual can do about that. There's nothing that, like, we can't, sometimes you see these guys asking for a little bit of money, fixing a pothole on the side of the road, and I commend them. I think that's great. But, the road situation, we can't do, as citizens, we can't do anything about it. That is completely, we depend on the government. And it's one of those things that you'll see the road, it's bad, you blame the government. However, if you see the road, it's good, you're not going to give the government necessarily credit, generally speaking, but it becomes a non-issue. And I think for a political party that's in power, you want that to be a non-issue. But right now, it's an issue. It's for something that people will talk about and are talking about. And like I said, every tourist coming in Negril, coming this way, will feel it and see it. Like, you got to drive careful. Like, you can't really drive fast. You can't really drive fast coming from Montego Bay to Negril. And it's just bad. Like, I don't even know how else to put it. It's just really, really bad. Like I said, the worst I can remember. And they need to do some, I'm not saying pave the whole road from here to Montego Bay, but like patch out. And I'm just like, man, like, mobilize, get it done, because it's not looking good. And then I think also the um the got the roads. I damn, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, right. So I think upward financial mobility, right? And so I think people too. So you got inflation is a problem, like hands out. Like things are just more expensive now than they were a couple of years ago. And so barrel played into that. We talked about the barrel inflation too. And I think that's especially on produce. But you got that fact, and then people are feeling it in their pockets when it comes to inflation. And then also, if like you're not feeling for whatever reason, and it could be 100% your fault, right? But if you're not feeling as if you're moving forward in life financially over a period of time or period of years, and I think that many people like start blaming is like, hey, this is the government for whatever reason. I don't know what that direct tie is, right? And then I can't necessarily tie it to a policy that was not implemented or a policy that was implemented that had negatively, adversely affected somebody's life and that of their families. Um, so I don't have any direct ties. I think that's a good question. And, maybe I go a little bit deeper when I sit with these folks and speak with these folks and ask them directly. But a lot of it is just like for the people who I've talked to about it, I don't get direct answers, and I think that's why I'm like fumbling with this because I don't have one. So I'm gonna pay a little bit more attention when I do have these conversations, and I have them regularly, as a matter of fact. And I just want to hear what they say and see if we can connect, have a direct connection, if you will, to the government and the lack of action or whatever it is that they say is happening. Kwame says the issue is not has not been the current administration has not been good to communicate the good that they've done. Exactly thought. Okay. Jamin says the PM spoke in New York and said exactly what you are saying are people's expectations, but he said people need to start looking more at economy and less at political promises. Oh wow, I didn't know that. I think that's perfect. That's perfect. 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 And yeah, there has to be. I'm gonna say the same thing over again. I'll leave it at that. Donna Rice says, "Trust me, Throp, keep politics off the channel." I'm trying, but we're getting roped in. Joanna says, "I like this nice addition of including rental properties that are move-in ready. Nice inclusion on the channel." Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I have more. I have more of those properties that I'm going to bring up here. Jamin says, "Strong economy makes strong roads. Some politicians could fix the roads using loans just to appease people. I'm proposing." Excuse me. Sean says, "Have you been tracking the Usain Bolt money situation?" I have. That I do have an opinion on, and strong opinion. Man, I think at the end of the day, like that is becoming a sad situation. It's becoming a really, really, really sad situation, and really, really unfortunate that it's coming down to this. And so, for those who are unaware, he had, I think, 12 million. Somebody can give me the exact number. 12 million US dollars essentially stolen from him that he invested in SSL, which is was a financial institution here in Jamaica. And there was this whole investigation done. There's one woman that is being held accountable essentially for all these millions of dollars that were stolen from all these people. And Usain Bolt is the most high profile person who are victim of this whole situation. And now it seems like he's either not getting his money or getting like a fraction of it. I don't know what it is, but he's basically not being fairly compensated for his loss in this whole situation. And I have to give the guy credit. I have to give the dude credit. He has been, I think, an incredible patriot in respect to this whole situation, because there are so many times where he could have gone to the international community, the international news stations, and just air out his grievances, right? And he hasn't done that. And I think he's been incredibly mature about it. But now when you start looking at his tweets and things, you're starting to see the frustration come out about this whole situation. And he obviously knows a lot more than me and you do about the situation. And I feel like he's feeling like he is not being treated right at this point in time. And to know that you are about or could be losing your $12 million US dollars, as a matter of fact, that is not a good feeling. And then you also feel like your country doesn't have your back. And in many respects, he has put Jamaica on his back and has took us to another level when it comes to fame, our athleticism, and the inspiration that he has just put out there by existing, and all the great things that he's done in his career is unquantifiable. And now we have a situation where he is, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's going to get his money back, or at least he's feeling like he's not going to get his money back. And this is really, really embarrassing for the country. And it was embarrassing to begin with. It was embarrassing to begin with. And I remember when this first happened, one of the things, we can go back to the live stream, one of the things I said was, this stuff happens. You know, there's the Bernie Madoffs of the world. There is the financial crisis and all that happened with that. But it's, how does the country respond? How do these financial institutions respond? That is the most important one thing when these situations arise. And even back then, I held my judgment. And now we're getting into the situation of consequences, or lack thereof, and compensation. And the response is ridiculous. Let's just call it what it is. This is like absolutely ridiculous that this guy is not, and not just him, the other victims are not being compensated adequately, and he could be losing his money, especially after, and it shouldn't even really be what I'm even saying, right? I'm telling you, and we know of all these great things that he's done for our country, and he's done for us. But even if he was a regular Joe Schmo citizen, he should have some sort of compensation for this situation. But even at his level, it's just not good for the country. It's not good for the financial markets, you know, because people are going to, let's call what is, people going to say is like, if this can happen to Usain Bolt, who am I? What kind of downside protection do I have? And I understand it. I completely understand it. And I really do. I hope that this is not the conclusion. I hope this is not the end of it. It doesn't seem like it, to be honest. But like I said, when this initially happened with SSL, it's like, these things happen. What's the response going to be? And right now, it's not looking really good. It's not really looking good at all. Shauna asks, do you think the Usain Bolt situation have a negative impact on people's trust in Jamaica's financial sectors, institutions? Hopefully a positive outcome will come of this. Yes, absolutely. This is having a negative impact. Absolutely. Like, no questions asked, it's having a negative impact. I mean, it just, if you like looking outside, and again, he really hasn't brought this to the international, it was international news, but he hasn't come out and spoke and said like, yo, this is crazy. $12 million. I put it in the Jamaican financial institution and I'm not getting my money back. I'm not being compensated. I have no justice whatsoever. He hasn't said that yet. That day could be coming. And I wouldn't blame him. I don't think anybody should blame him for that if it ever comes down to that situation. And people looking in, of course, it's just like, how are you going to be protected? And I'm not telling you not to invest in Jamaican financial institutions, and I'm not telling you to do it at all. But we got to take the data points. We got to take the data points, and it's just like, it's crazy. And like I said, it's getting to a point where it's really, really, really becoming sad. It's really becoming sad, and there needs to be like, and it could be really bad. And this is not something that is necessarily going to go away. You know, this is not something that's going to go away. He is arguably the most famous person in Jamaica globally. And he got screwed, royally screwed. And it just I mean, I hate to even say that. I mean, I don't even want to say it, but like it says a lot about the country, right? It says a lot about the country when something of this nature happens. And it's not, I mean, look, it's not a unique thing. Like, let's be clear. Like it's not a unique thing. It's not a unique thing. And it's just like, what is going to happen? How is the financial institution, the financial market, financial industry, I should say, going to respond? And it's so far, no, I don't think anybody's satisfied with the response. And then also even the people being held accountable of it, it's like it's just that one lady did all this. She didn't have any help. Really, really sad. Really sad. All right, let's keep going. Sorry, just all right. Got a couple more comments on the Bolt thing. What is the situation? What is solution to get better counsel when investing money like Usain Bolt? Oh, good question. Great question. Great question. Great question. I mean, I guess, and I don't know how it happened. Maybe somebody else has a little bit more insight into exactly what was done. Like, was he not paying attention to his account balances? And I'm not trying to re-victimize him at all. Like, I'm not. I'm just more so trying to understand how it got to the point and like that point, and then also how he found out that this happened. Like, did he go in as like, hey, I want to draw some money, and he looks at his balance and he's like, zero. Like, what's going on? Like, so I don't know how that happened. So I mean, at the end of the day, there has to be an element of trust, right? And you have to trust these institutions with your money and to earn you a return on your investment. But I also think there is an element of you having to just constantly pay attention. And I will say, like, and this is how I've lost money in the market was is I'm not paying attention. Like, and it's not because something happened, it's because of my own negligence and my own not keeping my finger on the pulse of what's happening. And I left it. Again, I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know if like could he have caught this earlier and instead of you losing 12 million and it would only been a million. I have no idea. I have no idea. But it all came out at the same time. And that's a question that I will definitely pose to a financial professional here in Jamaica. I think that's a great question. I'm actually going to save that right now. Kale says a lady approached him for help to pay back money she stole. That's how he found out. It was documented. Ugh, that's like the last thing you want to hear from your financial advisor, right? Or somebody running a financial institution that has your money. Oh my God. I didn't know that. Crazy. I think we got like a few other questions here. Um, Jeff says elements required for a strong economy: one, a strong banking system; two, a good postal system; three, good infrastructure with roads, rail, water, transportation; four, law and order. I don't know which one of those we're hitting right now. I mean, we do have a strong banking system. I have to say we do have a strong banking system. I think that has enabled Jamaica to really excel in the way that it has in terms of like moving the country forward. And even I wish we had lower interest rates. I mean, we're doing projects here, travelers, and we're just like, oh my gosh. But I think a lot of business people are used to the interest rates here. And it becomes one of these factors of like, oh, this is the way business is done. And I think people are used to it for the most part. But I think we would fly if we can get our interest rates below 5%. Imagine that. Imagine we had interest rates that were below 5%. I'm talking about on loans. Man, crazy. Postal system. Reason why I laughed at the postal system in particular, like Negril's post office is closed. ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous for refurbishing. And I forget where you got to go to get your mail right now, but that's crazy. And mind you, remember for those that are unaware, like you're not getting your mail delivered to you. You got to go to a PO box and pick up your mail. We don't have street numbers here. We don't, for mail to be delivered in your home or anything like that. And so it's just it's just crazy. That's why I laughed at that. We already talked about the roads. We have minimal rail. We definitely need more public transportation and law and order. Making progress with that. But good points. Good points. Greem says, Throp, there is currently an incomplete investigation going on. People should reserve their judgment on the situation with SSL until the process is completed. Some party is at fault, however. There's a couple of things that we can extract and conclude here. Is like, one, somebody stole money. There is a conclusion in that sense. Like, and this guy Usain Bolt does not have his money. And then two, yes, I agree. It's not over. I said that before. It's not over, but the mounting, how many years has it been at this point? And now we're getting to the point where the victim, Usain Bolt, or one of the victims, is frustrated, extremely frustrated, and that is starting to pour out into a public manner right now. And we can't be mad at him for that. We can't. We're not the ones suffering millions of dollars of financial loss. We are not. And so if he's frustrated by it, he has every right to be. And I am simply empathizing with him on his frustration at this point in time. And then also, do I like, and again, like you said, it's not concluded, but going back to what I said when this first happened, what really matters in this situation is how this situation is handled. That's what is the eyes of the world are looking on Jamaica and looking at its financial institutions and saying, all right, I'm sure they're saying, like, this happens in my country too, but what's going to happen? Where's the justice? And right now, as it is, there's very little justice. And I agree with you. It hasn't been concluded. We should, to an extent, reserve judgment. Is Usain Bolt allowed to get frustrated? Can we be frustrated with him as well? Yeah, damn sure. Yeah, of course. So, remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. Will he get all of his money back? I really hope so. He deserves it. Every one of those victims deserve it. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Shona says, hopefully this wouldn't tarnish brand Jamaica too negatively. It is. I don't think so. Obviously this is not going to bring down Jamaica or its financial institutions or anything like that. But it also is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to put things in place to make sure that instances of this nature will never, ever, ever happen again in Jamaica, ever. And this is an opportunity for the financial industry to come forth and say, like, listen, they break down everything that happened, like full transparency on how this happened. And based off of that, these are the measures that are being put in place, and guaranteeing the public, guaranteeing foreign, international potential investors, like, look, we have these rules in place and they're at a higher standard than in America or wherever. So it's also a great opportunity, great opportunity to turn this thing around and make it a positive, hopefully make it a positive for Bolt, make things right, and then also make it a positive for future investors. But if people don't feel as if they're going to be protected, or that things are changed and this will never, ever happen again to another person investing in these financial institutions, it's a problem. It's going to be a problem. So ball's in their court. Johnny Johnson says, if you have money, there's no place better to live than Jamaica. But if you broke, you must migrate until you get enough money to return. Okay. Marina Daly says, are virtual tickets still available for the conference? Yes. Oh, thank you. I didn't even mention this whole time. So We got virtual tickets available right now. We're doing a 50% discount. I should have been mentioning this the whole time. So 50% off until Tuesday. So if you are thinking about coming to Throp X 2024 and you can't make it in person, virtual is the next best way. So normally your tickets are $150. We're going for $75. You can get it right now at thropx.com and you'll get 50% off until Tuesday. So if it's something you are on the fence about and you weren't sure, now is definitely the time. And I promise you, they're not going to be any cheaper. This is the lowest. This is the absolute lowest that it'll ever be. And this is your best time to get it. We're not doing this again. And we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. And I think the more people that we can get interacting on the Throp X live stream, the better it's going to be for everybody. And if you're unable to make it live and in person, so to speak, on the live stream, you'll have the replays available. And I know we got a lot of complaints last year, I understand, about us not getting the replays out fast enough. We're going to do it within 30 days. We have a new platform. We figured out how we're going to do it. And we're going to make sure that we get it up to you as quickly as possible. You're not going to be waiting months and months and months. So apologies for that, for those folks who had to wait so long. I'll make sure I announce that again. Graham says, maybe the financial industry regulators dropped the ball. Maybe Bolt didn't do enough due diligence. The higher ups in SSL are all responsible for failure and not just some woman. I tell you, I think that's the other thing that's people's like, what's really going on here? Like, how can it just be one person? It's not like a Bernie Madoff situation where he solely came up with this Ponzi scheme and managing these money. And anyway, it just that part doesn't make a lot of sense to me, honestly. But anyway, let's keep going. Mikhail says interest rates will come down in a few months. BOJ is on top of things. Yeah, they brought it down a quarter of a basis point. I was expecting it to be more. Some people were expecting, even the article that we read, I think it was Friday or Sunday, I can't remember. I think it was last Sunday, as a matter of fact, they were expecting it to be possibly go down by 0.75, but I think I was like, that would be crazy. I think that was a little bit of wishful thinking. But yeah, I think it's going to continue to come down and it's going to really help with things. I agree with you, Mikhail. Alayla says, do you think we could develop mail delivery for a country with numbers and streets? I think we have to. It's crazy. I mean, unless like mail becomes obsolete, the postal service becomes obsolete, or we think that that's going to happen. But we don't even have street names. Like, we got to start there. Like, we got to. It's like how, like, again, another thing with like from an infrastructure standpoint, specifically in Negril, I'm talking about, like, how do we not have this? Like, we have these different lanes and we have, go past so-and-so hotel and the coconut tree. And like, literally, that's still how we're living right now here in the West. And so, yeah, all that needs to be figured out at some point. At some point, it definitely does. Garim says people need to lose their jobs in the regulatory institutions, and some SSL execs need to be prosecuted. I think something of that nature will need to happen. Like, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's hard for me to see it. At this point, it's really hard for me to see at this point. But like some sort of high level accountability needs to happen with them for sure. Ms. Cole says, the fact of the matter is the money share up, and it's not only one individual profit from it. An investigation into the matter will be dead end and a whole lot of finger pointing to nowhere. And I think that's, at least I will say, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. That it leads to nowhere, that nobody really is held accountable, or the right people aren't held accountable, and they get to ride off in the sunset and maybe even have the opportunity to do it again, which is crazy. But I hope that that's not the situation and that doesn't become a reality. Sean says, it seems like Usain and Dwight Howard's situation are somewhat similar. Dwight Howard invested about $7 million into the WNBA, which it was a scam. Oh, I had no idea. I got to look into that. The Atlanta Dream. First I'm hearing about that. I got to look into it. What are your thoughts? Shona asks, what are your thoughts on professional athletes and managing finance or vetting people? Man, got a lot of thoughts on that. And as you brought up, like Dwight Howard, and you think about, especially like in the 90s, right? These NBA players getting, the contracts here now are a lot more, but NBA players like regular going broke, some of the richest people in the world going broke, right? And there's so many documentaries on these guys, and it's just like so sad. They just blew through millions of dollars. And a lot of it because like they were essentially kids and given this millions of dollars, and they want to show off. And so they obviously need guidance, and they need people in their corner to help them manage their money. And I think financial education classes are important. Learning what the true value of a dollar is important. I mean, you're also seeing it in the creator space too, of just like creators who and you're starting to see it specifically with creators who blew up during the pandemic, and they've made millions of dollars in the last 3 years, 4 years, and things have slowed down or things are changing. The dynamics of being a creator in 2024, 2025 are not the same as they were in 2020, 2021. And the folks who haven't been able to adopt are they just don't have it anymore, right? And they got this fast, quick money, at least faster and quicker than they've ever had it before, and they haven't been able to manage their finances and living way, 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 way above their means. And I think it applies to just across life, right? And across the spectrum of different industries and different professions of you're getting this lump sum of money by whatever your talent. Wow. I don't know why it's doing that. By whatever your talent may be. And you don't know how to handle it, right? And you blow this money, you blow this opportunity. And I think it comes down to, and I'm not saying this is Bolt at all, but definitely like maintaining like a humble lifestyle, and just also having people around you to just keep you grounded. I think it's just so important to just have people that just keep you grounded, that really know who you are. And then when it comes to like the specific aspect of investing and investing into financial markets, yeah, you got to have a professional. You got to have a professional and somebody that you trust. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of how he came to be in a professional relationship with SSL and how it snowballed into this really catastrophic situation. I have no idea. But definitely I guess my point at the end of the day is like when it comes to especially young people, athletes, now in the creative space who are making these millions and millions of dollars like very quickly, and you need the guidance, you need the help. It's important. Okay. Here you guys having a discussion. Only agreeing sometimes was a time Jamaica was on every travel agency advert for the super rich. Somewhere things have changed, and other places like Asia, Dubai have become the new playground. Playground versus serious contender. So I think that's probably before my time. But to your point, I think that Jamaica is moving in that direction. They're in a very, very, very strong way. They're moving into I wouldn't say we are moving into the direction of the rich people's playground. And this is like specifically when you look at like the different investments that are coming into Jamaica, hotel wise for sure. When you look into the residential developments for sure, when you look at the playground-esque type facilities that are coming, specifically like casinos, and you look at the airport, you look at the flights, the different flights that are coming in and the destinations. Like Jamaica is trying to get into the Middle East market. Jamaica's been trying to get a flight from I think it was Shanghai to Montego Bay. And these are very high level financial markets, and very much so high level financial markets. And We want I think it's going to turn into these things like where people are going to fly their private jets and come and hang out in Montego Bay, gamble from Friday to Sunday and fly back Sunday night kind of thing. And I think like that's going to kind of be a regular thing. And you could kind of see the investments going in that direction in like in a really big way. There's like a lot of just so many examples of these investments. This is like, who are the people that are going to be living there? Who are the people that are going to be spending thousands of dollars per night at a hotel? It's like these millionaires, you know? So I do think that we could be getting back to that, so to speak. I think we are going in that direction. I always bring up the example of the hotel, I'm sorry, the airport lounges that are in Montego Bay now. There's 3 of them. You know, there's 3 of these very nice airport lounges. And I tell you, I travel all over the world. I go to like all these different lounges. It's just part of how I travel, right? And the Montego Bay lounge, the VIP lounge that they have there is on par, if not better than some of these lounges. Like it really, really is. They've done a phenomenal, masterful job, like really, really, really great job. And I keep forgetting we're partnering with them too. We got a video coming out. We're partnering with them with Club Mobe for Throp X. And I don't know of, and please somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Like I don't know of another destination that I've been to that you have the opportunity to have this concierge off the airplane service that Club Mobe offers, where you get off a plane, somebody is holding a sign with your name on it, and they escort you through customs, immigrations, baggage collections to your bus, and you skip the entire line. So I think it's a phenomenal service. I always recommend it. I've never done it before because I have my Jamaican passport. And I just know how to move in the airport, so I get through very quickly, just as fast. But it is a great service to have. Great service to have. And then they take you to their arrival lounge as well, where you can sit down, have a nice cool drink, get something to eat, and then get on your bus to get to your hotel. And then coming back when you're departing, also they have the 3 lounges, the departure lounges, which are, again, that's what I was talking about. Like they're world-class departure lounges. And I think that's something that, you know, you should definitely consider. That's, let me see if I could get their website real quick. But yeah, my point in even bringing that up is that when I see these types of investments, these type of services available, they are, it just tells me that it shows me the market, the demographic of the country, what the country is going after. And this is VIP attractions. So you can go there, VIPattractions.com. We're going to be sending, for those who are coming to Throp X, if you want to use these services, you're going to get a discount. We're going to send out the link. If you want to use it, highly, highly recommend it. Buy both. Go with arrival, departure. And you get a discount with the link that we're going to send you. And this is something that you can use as part of your trip experience for Throp X, and we've partnered with them. I totally forgot that we got a video coming out advertising that, but I just also want to make mention of them. And even if you're not coming through Throp X, great service, use it. All right, let's keep rolling here. Who we got next? Sharon says, how many days virtual are you offering? 2 days. So it's Monday, Tuesday. So these are the education panels. I would love to do the real estate tour, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So this is Monday, Tuesday. You got the real estate day, which is the real estate education day. It was like all our real estate panelists. And then the next day we got the business and lifestyle day on the Monday and Tuesday. So you get 2 days for your $75 if you book before Tuesday. Leila says, I think Auburn Hill will be a great addition to the conference if you can get him. When you hear the man speak about Jamaica, it's also inspiring. Yeah, we hate to burst your bubble on this, but we were very close to getting him, but he is not going to be around. I was so psyched to announce him, but unfortunately, we're not going to get him. But we wanted him as a speaker. but we are going to have him on the pod. We've already talked about that. So we're just trying to get our schedules to align. So unfortunately, he won't be a speaker at Throp X this year, but maybe in the future. But he will definitely be on the pod at some point in time. Carlson says, as an immigrant, hate to put all my eggs in one basket, meaning the USA basket. Worse now with the political rhetoric, against immigrants coming out of some quarters, not finding Jamaica a good alternative. I would say depends on what you're looking for. And I always say, too, is like, I'm assuming, Carlson, you're a Jamaican immigrant in America. That's how you're referencing it or framing it. And I always say it's important when you're considering relocation or investing in Jamaica, you should look at other markets. Absolutely, you should look at other markets. You should go where is going to make you happy. And maybe even as a Jamaican, Jamaica is not for you. And there are many Americans who say and feel America is not for me. And they move to Jamaica or they move to Barcelona or wherever it is. And so I don't know if you all remember the gentleman. He's Jamaican. I think he was in Canada and he decided he didn't want to move back to Jamaica because of yada, yada, yada. And he moved to Rwanda. And that aligned with him better and his expectations and his goals for him and his family. And more power to you. And I think that it's important to do that due diligence and really figure out, is Jamaica for you? Is this the right place? Because there are a lot of challenges in Jamaica. There are a lot of challenges in being here. There are a lot of, and when I say challenges, I mean it more so that you may be used to, and maybe it's important to you that you are able to go to a bank and go in and out in 10 minutes. Jamaica, that ain't gonna happen, and like some people are extremely frustrated by it. And it's okay to be frustrated by it, but then at the same time, it kind of is what it is in that sense. And I think a lot of people allow things like that to frustrate the heck out of them. And it's like, I can't believe this country. Da, da, da. And so it's like, you got to know what you're getting yourself into, right? And you got to know where you're moving to and what the lifestyle is like. And I think that's important. We were just complaining about the potholes, right? And I'm not saying we should accept potholes. I'm not saying that this is the norm and should be accepted as a norm. I think we need to hold the people accountable that need to get these things done to get it done. But you got to look at the positives, are the positives outweighing like the negatives, the supposed negatives that we have here. And that's up to you. That's a personal decision. That's a personal decision that you have to make, and you have to understand your red lines. And I think in participating in online communities like the Throp community and watching different videos, you get a better sense of what to expect. And maybe you're like, nah, this is not for me. My dad's cousin, as much as he loves Jamaica, and he loves his country, he's a patriot, it wasn't for him and his wife to retire to. He decided to move to Costa Rica instead. And that was better for him. And I think him and his wife are very, very, very happy here. And I fault nobody for that. But then there are other people who look at Jamaica. This is their dream. There's nowhere else that they want to go. There's no other country that they could imagine themselves living. Or maybe they have visited here and they realize that I wasn't supposed to be born in Philadelphia. I was supposed to be born in Westmoreland. And so it all depends on what you're looking for. But I think that it's important to take the time to be super, super clear on that. Just be very, very clear. And Jamaica is not a place, my opinion, is not a place to jump in head first without doing research. It's just not that place. I feel like I did that. I feel like even though I am Jamaican, growing up, I never lived here. The most time I spent here was 3 weeks in the summer. But as I always say, living in Jamaica and doing business in Jamaica is very, very different than coming here and vacationing. It's different. And it's important to take the time. I always recommend come here, and if you can spend a month, 3 months here, and it doesn't matter if you were born here and then you've gone away for 10 years, 15 years, it's not the same Jamaica. It's different. It's just different. And that will happen anywhere. There are going to be nuanced differences that you may have been comfortable with when you were here and you were living here, that is no longer the case. And I think it's important, and it's great recommendation. If you have the willingness and the idea that you want to live here and retire here and be here for the next 20 years, what is 3 months? What is 3 months of due diligence? What is a month of due diligence of being here, boots on the ground, understanding what it's like to just go grocery shopping, to go to a restaurant, to go to a cook shop, to go to a rum bar, whatever it is. Like, is this something that aligns with your spirit? Is this something that aligns with your personality, your family, your retirement dreams? I think it's important to take the time to do that, because I've seen so many people online in these Facebook groups who I know they didn't do their research. They didn't do their they just moved to Jamaica. Are they just I'm gonna be here for 6 months, and they're frustrated by like the simplest of things. If they just did a little bit of research, they would have known, oh, this is what happens. And then in saying this is what happens, okay, I can't put up with that. That's not for me. I got to look somewhere else. And I think it's an important thing to consider doing, and make a big part of your research and moving here, investing here, living here. I was at Hilo the other day, and it's called him a tourist and a local person. They were a couple, and they were in front of me, bought their groceries, and it was like $100. And they were like, no, something's wrong here. 100 US, that is. Something's wrong here. They asked them to recheck the items and everything like that. And he just couldn't believe that it was just $100 for this small amount of groceries. It's expensive. I keep saying, Jamaica is not a cheap place. Jamaica is not a Colombia. Jamaica is not a Bali, where your cost of living is just very, very low. And obviously, Negril, tourist place, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. You're going to pay a little bit more of a premium. It just is what it is. And taking the time to do this type of research also will circumvent some frustrations. All right, let me keep rolling here. Charles, what's going on? Happy Sunday. Oh, hi, Throp. Will you be revisiting any of the sites from last year's tour for Throp X 2024? I think the only one that I know of that we're confirming for a revisit will be Vista Bella. So always an opportunity to pull up the map. So Vista Bella is downtown Negril. So this is a roundabout in downtown Negril. And then we're going to start moving east here. And this is Texaco. Hold on. Oh, police station. Let's go this way. Let's go fire station, police station, Negril bus park here. And then we got Texaco gas station, Sweet Spice across the road, moving along Nampro Road. And then this is the new gas station. I forget what it's called. This is a new gas station. And then here we have Negril Estate. Make sure this is Negril Estate. And then on the other side, we have Vista Bella, which is Negril's largest development land-wise. It's the largest development. And so we visited, am I missing the road here? So this is the only one that we're going to be visiting, at least that I can remember, that we're going to be revisiting. We might do Point Village. I know like a lot of people like going there, and a couple of units were sold last year. But I think like one of those, and then if we have any Little Bay country clubs, we might do that as well. But I just think it's important. And the reason why we revisit these, because these are kind of like the baseline, I would say, at least on the residential side. These are like the baseline places that we have. And it just kind of shows you the potential that we have in Negril, of and the opportunity of doing further development. And then for those folks who are hey, I want to buy now, then these are your opportunities. These are your best opportunities, as I'd like to say. So that would be the repeats that I could think of off the top of my head. And the Vista Bella is a place where me and my family have a few lots here, so you can buy your lots. I believe, don't quote me on this, but they're ballpark 10,000 square foot lots. Buy the lot and you build your home, that sort of thing. Gated community. All right, and I don't know. Is there one in particular that you want to revisit again, Charles? Just curious. Johnny Johnson says people's in the grill have to go to Little London, Westmoreland to collect their mail. I believe so. Yeah, crazy, right? Mikhail says they are building out the postal service. The flagship for all post offices in Jamaica was just opened in Kingston. That's where NIDS and services will be done. Throp, you should check that out. I'll take a look. First, I'm hearing. Shorna says, I just sent an email about a video of a Jamaican expressing his frustrations, the day-to-day productivity. Feel free to share with the Throppers. It's truly comical. All right, I'll check it out. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Shrika says, what segments does a virtual ticket cover? So virtual ticket covers all of the education panel. So that's the Monday to Tuesday, the November 18th and 19th. And that is specifically focused on real estate on Monday. So real estate investment, real estate opportunities, real estate financing. That is the Monday. And then Tuesday, it's business. So doing business. So we'll have and business and lifestyle, I should say. So we'll have the Company's Office of Jamaica, the Jamaica Jampro will be there. The Tax Administration Office of Jamaica will be there. NAGALPO, which is the Negril Green Island Planning Authority, will be there as well. This is a body that if you're doing any sort of building in the Negril area, you have to go through Negril Green Island and Local Planning Authority. Who else will be there? I feel like I'm missing a government agency. And then we also have a couple of people, like, as I was just telling you and expressing to you about the importance of doing your research. I think it's so important, and we got to do a better job of this with Throp X. Is like really having a focus on the lifestyle and giving an understanding of what it is like to live in Jamaica from the perspective of others, not just me, people who have retired here, people who have set up businesses here, people who spend half and half their time, many months out of the year in Jamaica. And I think it's important to hear from those folks. So essentially, that is what you're getting. So it's 2 days for the virtual ticket. As I mentioned earlier, if you're just joining, you can go to thropx.com and get 50% off the 2024 virtual tickets. And that's only until Tuesday you can do that. You can do that now. Do that up until 50% off. And then it's going back up to $150. Grim says, Throp, what do you think about the current plans to reform Jamaica's Post into some kind of hybridization between U.S. Post and FedEx Jamaica versions? I think Mikhail was just telling me about that. I have to look into it. I'm not sure. I have to look into it. Carlson says, wish I could agree with the strong banking system. Banking system, a total ripoff. Went to several banks to pull funds from an ATM. Out of funds, forced to use card for purchases, charge service fees. Yes. So when I say a strong banking system, I'm really talking more about the robustness of it and the access to capital. Yeah. But when it comes to the more nuanced, like day-to-day aspect of banking, it can be extremely frustrating. Agree with you wholeheartedly on the ATM running out of money. Pretty regular. I think it's pretty ridiculous that happens. I think it's completely unacceptable. I already mentioned about taking a long time and going to a bank and knowing that you are going to be there for quite some time. Also extremely frustrating. And I think these are the kind of things that the private sector can push back on and demand better service. Or maybe we let in more competition of banks who are going to give us better service to get us in and out a lot quicker and also have money in their ATMs. Only Green sometimes says professional athletes and music artists get caught up with the Joneses lifestyle and not on their business network. Yep. I think that happens a lot. Donna says Club Bay wins best airport lounge in the region annually. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's beautiful. Like again, they're competing globally with European lounges, American lounges. They are right up there. Jay Fitz says, "I've done it with and without Club Bay service. You want to spend them. You want to spend the money for the service. Agreed. Agreed." Joe says you can also slip $20 to one of the airport employees, and they will take you to the front of the line with departures. Never tried it with arrivals. Joe, we're not trying to tell people to do things illegally. We want people to follow rules. But that's Joe's experience. I'm not necessarily recommending that at all. Speaking of Joe, Joe, as you make that comment, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about Joe's event that is coming up, workshop. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. So I talked about this on Friday. Joe has a workshop. I don't know if you want to put any blurbs there, Joe. Let me know. Go ahead. You can stick it in there and let us know what's happening. So this is Joe's workshop. This is on, it's so small. It's on the 18th of October from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And Joe, if you could just stick the website on the comment section so people can participate or find out more information if they'd like to participate. This is at the Jamaican Conference Center, 1420 Port Royal Street in Kingston. And parent coaching workshop, Bridging the Gap, a practical approach to developing support strategies. And Joe is an occupational therapist and is very, very good at what she does. And she has an organization, a nonprofit organization called Smile a While, the Smile a While Foundation. And if you're in town and you want to support a fellow Thropper this also aligns with your interest, highly recommend you go and check it out. And Joe, I'm sure you're putting it in the comments right now, the website, so people can find out more information. But wishing you all the luck with it, and I'm sure it's going to be spectacular. Oh, there's a location change. Let me know. Let us know. Let us know. Let me. Whenever you bring it up, I'll also put it up there, Joe. Shauna says, "Do you plan to post 50,000 celebration on YouTube community page?" No, I totally forgot. I always forget these little milestones. It's a big milestone. It's great, But I'm not in this for that. But I think it's important. I know you told me this, Shauna, just to celebrate victories and wins, right? So I think it's important. I agree. We should. I will make a post and we will recognize it and also show appreciation to you all for being a part of this. Kwame says, Jamaica is only 62 years young, a developing country, and still growing. Fortunately, I grew up in Jamaica, and there are things that are negative as well as there are many positives. It has its nuances, and once one can navigate those and be patient, accepting things for what they are, then you're good. And I agree. And once you're able to navigate and understand how certain things work and accept certain things that are not going to change, Jamaica is just such a beautiful place to call home and live in. Are there frustrating aspects of being here? Without question, and anywhere. But I feel so lucky to be here. I feel so extremely lucky to be here. I feel so extremely lucky to call this place home. And hopefully this community and others that are out there help you to navigate either your transition here or your lifestyle, adjusting your lifestyle to Jamaica. And I don't think it's a crazy adjustment really when it comes down to it, when you weigh the trade-off. And without question, it's a trade-off. Everything isn't going to be the same here as in New York or Philadelphia or Toronto or Ontario, wherever. It's just not going to be the same. But there are trade-offs. And to me, we'll get into that. We'll get into that some other time. But great point. Great point, Kwame. Donna says, no country is perfect, pros and cons to everywhere. That being said, the bank encounters can make you see red. That's for sure. Across the board, as a rule, customer service has improved. I agree. Agreed. And Donna says, high-low is more expensive in Negril than others. I've heard this I've heard this from many, many people, but yes, silo can be very expensive. Larry T says, hello, Throp and family. Today is my first time watching live from Negril. I've been here since mid-July and in the process of gaining my residency. I'm still adjusting to the lifestyle changes. Awesome. Congrats to you. The adjustments are minor compared to the San Francisco. So let's grab a swig of water here. Compared to San Francisco, California, San Francisco, California way of life as a Black woman, I bought my land and made my move here after 2 years of due diligence and wouldn't change a thing. Awesome. Really good to know that. All right. Only agreeing sometimes says playground versus contender. Jamaica needs to find ways to get the super rich to invest in the infrastructure rather than just playing with toys in the playground. I think some of that is happening. I mean, you look at when you say, let's say define infrastructure before I hop in. Only agreeing sometimes. What do you mean by infrastructure? Let's leave it at that before I hop in. Garth says, Throp, does the new bypass in Montego Bay impact Negril transportation time? Yes. It will, because you are going to skip over downtown Montego Bay. Let me see if I can bring this up. Sometimes I get scared when I go into other towns with this map. Like, will I be able to find it in time? All right, let's go to Montego Bay here. No, gone too far. All right, so this is Montego Bay Airport. Sanctions International. This is where the Pinnacle is going to be, by the way. Throp X, platinum sponsor. So, man, where did I see it? Right by ATL. There is, I don't know if that's the start or where it comes off or it connects, but there is. I don't want to get this wrong. Okay, here it is. Boat City Center, this is ATL. So there is, no, it's not updated. So there, I honestly, I don't know how this fits into everything, but there is a bypass, some sort of road, highway, I don't know, that comes like right along here. It's like brand new. They just paved it. And I'm not sure how that fits into all of this. But essentially, from what I understand, if you're coming from Montego Bay Airport, you're going to skip all of this downtown. By Harmony Park, the Hip Strip. Oh, I think this is it right here. Is this it? This got to be it. Yeah, this got to be it. I'm assuming this is it. But yeah, instead of making a right coming outside of the, like if you're, like this is the roundabout here, instead of making the right going this way to Negril, you're going to actually make a left, and then you're going to be hopping on. This is the highway. This right here. At least that's the way I understand it. Where it goes and all that, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm unsure. I'm really unsure. And then I just know there is an outlet over here past all this. And sometimes, getting past downtown, that in itself could add an hour to your journey. Easily an hour. So yes, huge positive effects in the in coming to Negril. Darnell, you the man. Thank you. Darnell says, congrats on 50K, Throp. This is just the beginning. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Always appreciate your support. Thank you, man. I really do. All right. Let's see. Let's keep rolling here. Charles says, I do recall that an abandoned a particular site visit due to possible roads. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the real estate tour, Charles? Jay Fitz, I might have to try Joe's pseudo Mobay approach. Thanks, Joe. I am not encouraging any sort of illegal activity here on this channel, but do y'all. T Max says off topic, but it's been a while since we've had a follow up on Beryl for the hard hit areas like Treasure Beach. Since not high tourist areas, very easy to be forgotten. Maybe a follow up. Great point, T Mac. The only thing that I've recently seen on it is the reopening of Jake's, which is awesome. I just seen a few quick pictures, like literally like before I came on the stream, but I haven't heard anything else and where they are. But thank you for that. We'll try to make some inquiries into what's happening here, but I think that's a positive. That's a great thing that Jake's has officially reopened. Grim says, Throp, can you do a show on clean energy tech as it relates to energy production and the sale of it in Jamaica? Does a producer have to sell to JPS? Are there ways to have independent distribution? Great questions. The actual theme of this year for Throp X is sustainable development, and we're obviously doing a car show, an electric car show, which is part of the event, but we're also having a alternative energy company that's going to be there as well, making a presentation. And these are great questions. These are great questions. And I will also save that. But important question to answer. Thank you for that. Only agreeing to disagree. Only agreeing sometimes. Sorry. What specific areas in Jamaica do you believe have the most potential for development and why? I mean, it depends on what you consider development, right? So when you ask that question, I think particularly of Port Antonio, for example, right? And it's one of those places I think that most Jamaicans can agree, like, we don't want to see that place overdeveloped, right? And we don't want to see it to turn into a city. It's just too beautiful. It's too natural. And I think most people believe that it should remain small, low density. Bring it back to Negril. Negril needs development. Negril needs a development plan, or needs to implement a development plan. There was a development plan created many decades ago. I'm not sure if it's still applicable to this modern time and modern era, but I think, honestly, as biased as this might sound, I think Negril has the most potential. It really does have the most potential. Because when you look at the percentage of resources compared to other tourist towns specifically, and how those funds, specific government funds, have been allocated, Negril has gotten nearly next to nothing. We have, and it's just like so, and I say that to say, like, we have done so much with so little. As much as we complain about like these roads, and they're really bad. We complain about garbage pickup, the general cleanliness of the town. People still, and that's also the gift and the curse of Negril, right? Is that because so little has been put in and invested into Negril, and at the same time, we are one of the highest producing tourist destinations in Jamaica. Like, we take on and bring in a disproportionate amount of tourism dollars to the country, and we, with very little, it's like it almost creates this mentality like, oh, why do we need to invest in Negril and they're doing so good, right? And it's just like one of those things like, no, we can't kill the golden goose, right? And we have to invest and we have to put more into it. So I think Negril is like one of these towns that, and I'm not saying that our other places don't deserve, I'm just saying that when you look at the sheer potential and you look at the raw bones, the skeleton of Negril, it's just set up for success so well with the beach, with the cliffs, with where we are from a geographic location, and now when you look at the different aspects of the investments coming in here, like government investments, specifically the road, the bypass, that they're looking to do a highway directly from Montego Bay to Negril. And even if like there isn't a highway, like if we look at the bypasses that they're going to be doing with Lucy, we just talked about downtown Montego Bay, and you're just cutting down that time travel from the airport to Negril. It's beautiful. And it's not just from a tourist perspective. I'm also talking about from like a business person's perspective, especially as like somebody like me who travels quite often. like now it's especially because of like these airport drives to the airports, it like extends my trip like hour. But I'm used to it. Like I don't look at it as an extension, but now I'm looking at it more so. Is there an opportunity to reduce that travel time and have me less time inside of a vehicle, less time? Like, oh my gosh, changes my lifestyle completely as a business person, right? And so I think there's a lot of opportunities in terms of entrepreneurship in Kingston and Negril, as a matter of fact. And you look at also the international airport that's coming, and this international airport, like we're not talking about 2025, like this is years and years down the road, but we got to start somewhere. The conversation, the consultation is already beginning and has begun. And I look at when you ask and use the word potential, I look at these things, and I look at these things as like, man, we're gonna get in the girl's gonna have an international airport and a bypass road highway directly from Montego Bay. Great. We have 7 miles of white sand beach. It's great. It's really, really, really set up for success at the end of the day. And I think it has a lot of potential. So very, very biased, obviously, but the facts are the facts. All right, let's keep going here. Greetings from just Joan. Greetings from Bermuda. Throp, so happy we invested in Bogue 20 years ago. Now our neighbor, the Pinnacle, is new as a new talking point. Throp, you are the right person for this. Really warm hearts. Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, the Pinnacle, without question, let's bring it back up. This is, I think they now said that this is a 450 million US dollar development that we're looking at right here. And you best believe that all like it's raising property values all across here. Everything in the immediate area, all of the property value is going up for sure, without question. And Joan, like you said, I'm sure the value of your property is going up as well. All right. Tia J says, hi, Throp. Filled out the Google form, but did not get any additional info on the units at SOV where they all sold. Yep. They sold out. They sold out to you guys. They told me, spoke with Delano and one of the other partners over there, and they said it was literally from doing this live stream. They fill out the papers. I'm sorry you missed that, Tia, because they had, I think it was a week later, they had a online informational that you could join if you had filled out that if you had filled out that form that you were invited to. And yeah, they sold all of them. But I keep telling you, even with SOV, people who felt like they missed out, don't feel that way. There are other opportunities. I promise you. Throp X, with the properties I'm seeing, there are more coming. There are more, like I said before earlier in this show on the stream, I've never seen the amount of hotels, especially beachfront hotels, that are for sale and that will be a part of Throp X. And I'm not sure why it's happening, but it's something to look into. So don't feel as if you've missed out on this once in a lifetime opportunity, because I'm telling you haven't, because there are more that are already going to be on the real estate tour in Throp X. And so if it's something that you are still interested in, just, put yourself in a position, whatever that means to you, put yourself in a position to take advantage of it next time. And maybe next time that deal might not be for you. Look into it, do your due diligence with any other sort of investment that you may be looking into. Take your time, do due diligence, see if it fits, if it's a right fit for you, and take it from there. But I promise you, I will continue to bring different real estate opportunities, especially in the greater Negril area. I'll bring those opportunities to you, and hopefully one of them aligns with what you're looking for. Sharika says, for the real estate tour, what is the logistics surrounding same? Do you have a shuttle, and is it included in the cost? Sorry. Yeah, so we're taking right now it's 3 shuttle buses. We have 3 buses that are going to be driving around the Negril area and going to different properties that are for sale. So we're covering the West End, the Beach Road. We're gonna stick in Negril this time. I know one year we went out to Little London Way, but we're not going to do that this year. So it's a separate cost from the virtual ticket, if that's what you're asking. I know you asked about that earlier. and lunch is included on. Oops, I don't mean to down. Thumbs down. Lunch is included on that as well. And we also have another real estate tour that has been added, which is the Pinnacle, and that will be on Saturday the 23rd. And I want to remind people that who may or may not have booked their tickets. If you haven't booked your flight, please extend it one more day if you can. If you can extend it to the Sunday and not leave on the Saturday, and just so you can participate on that tour. And if you haven't, you're gonna get this all in your email. But don't worry, if you haven't are unable to book your flight or extend your flight, we're going to set up a special tour for you either on your arrival or on your departure so you can see the construction site yourself. So this is the Pinnacle, like I'm bringing up here. So we're going to be traveling here. They are, yeah, this is just a pile. So they actually already started construction. So they're further along than this satellite image is showing. And we're going to see and we're going to learn right on site all about what they are doing and what the plans are, and then you get to ask any sort of question that you like by all these Pinnacle experts that will be there. So hopefully that answers your question, Sharik. And if you're interested in going on a tour, I keep telling people, I know that the real estate tour, without question, that is going to sell out. That is going to sell out. So I would say book your ticket as early as you can for the real estate tour if you're not going to be coming on the full for the full week, because the people who are booking the full week is they get preference. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's something that is included in their package, and for those who are buying day passes for the real estate tour, we're going to get as many people as possible. But once we don't have any more space, we don't have any more space. All right, we're going to be wrapping up here. Jones says stuff happens everywhere, included. God bless Jamaica. There is hope. We visit often and stay safe always. Clarity says, hey, Throp, have you seen the recent cleared lot that looks to be about 3 acres or so on the cliffs, and it extends across West End Road? No, which part of the West End? Just give me an idea of where you're talking. Only agreeing sometimes has fundamental facilities and systems that serve Jamaica, like transportation, etc. How can the super rich be incentivized to invest in that side of the infrastructure and social programs and not ruin things? Good question. I think that's a good thought experiment. Nadine says, have you sorted out the issue on the website with the newsletter? Yes, we have. So you can sign up now. It's all good. So if you want to sign up for the newsletter, we got one going out tomorrow. We have one going out tomorrow. And so if you want to sign up for the newsletter, you can go to thropx.com and sign up for the newsletter. You can get all the up-to-date information on what's happening with the conference. And I'll mention one last time that we're going to start wrapping up here, that we're going to doing a 50% discount on Throp X virtual tickets, and that's only going to Tuesday. So you basically got 2 more days left that you're able to book that 50% discount. And once it's done, and it ends at midnight on Tuesday. So hopefully we get to see you in the virtual part of Throp X and get some questions in, and we'll kind of leave it there. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed today's stream. We're going to be back on Friday. No, Friday. I'm traveling Friday. No stream Friday. Oh, forgot. So there will be no Throp X stream Friday, but also forgot to mention we got our Patreon Thropper Think Tank on Saturday. Don't mind the date. It says April 13th. But next Saturday coming up, this is part of my monthly live stream. Monthly Zoom call that we have at Saturday, 12 p.m. Jamaica time. And if you want to join, you can go to my Patreon. Patreon.com/Throp, and you can sign up. It's $20 a month, and you're part of the Throppers Think Tank, and we go into a bunch of different topics. It's really your call more than anything else. And I call this more than anything else. This is group consultation. This is an opportunity to turn on your camera and I can see your face and you can not just be this one-way thing. So if you want to sign up for that, you can go ahead at patreon.com/Throp. And we'd love to have you. Small knit group, very intimate, I'd like to think and like to say. And I really enjoy doing it. We'll try to get, I don't even think I got time to do a midweek stream this week. If somehow I do, you'll see it pop up and it'll probably be last minute. And yeah, probably last minute. But yeah, I'm going to be traveling on Friday. So no second stream this week. But we'll be back on Sunday for sure. We'll be back on Sunday to do our normal live stream, same time. Anyway, wishing you all a great week ahead. Get that Throp X 50% virtual ticket now while you can. And I will see you next Sunday. Everybody have a great week. And thanks for hopping on.